45 seconds to a minute.
But she's on the same station, isn't she?
She is on the same station as yesterday.
So both crews, as you can see, got off to a clean start. We're riding with the Bonner crew there. Just off the start, stroke man Lucas Müller, the 25-year-old, won the Britannia Challenge Cup here with Bayer Leverkusen back in 2016. So he's got one Henley win under his belt, and these guys from Okeanos, Ruben Hoeks, closest to you, the former lightweight rower, 72 kilos, is in the stroke seat of the Okeanos boat. Coming off the end of the island, and that's our cat just trailing the crews by. You can see it's a pretty close race at the moment. Maybe Ruder-Gesellschaft Bonn with that slight lead. So we didn't get a look at her steering, Clara Drews, as she came off the island, but it looks pretty decent there, sort of hugging the booms, maybe a couple of metres off.
Yeah, she looks well positioned here. I think both crews are hugging their stations pretty closely. We certainly haven't heard from the umpire, Sir Matthew Pinson, yet in this race, about which I'm sure he'll be relieved, because he watched that race back yesterday and was well aware of the warnings that she'd got from the umpire Boris Rankboff yesterday.
That's his last year in medical school, Ruben Hoeks, working as a doctor in hospital, working very hard all through his qualification. And would you believe Ruben Hoeks has competed with Rick van der Herrik, who is also his coach, and from a very famous Van der Herrik dynasty. Van der Herrik's in the Neerhouse crew coming down later on, but this is a pretty decisive move this early in the race from the Okeanos crew now.
It is. They look to be dealing with the slightly poppy water just a little bit more effectively. You can see there's real unity there at the finish. The crew looks relaxed, with the exception of perhaps five-man who's looking a little tense.
Can I ask you, just the coxswain in that crew, Rian Koeman, just crouched down lower, but is that the way you crouched your body, or did you sit up quite tall as a coxswain? What's the deal for the coxswain position?
I tended not to crouch in that way. I tried to make sure that I was reasonably relaxed in the boat. I think being tense means that any movement that you make can be translated through the hull, and so I think being relaxed and trying to make sure that the shift in the body weight that happens particularly at the catch is not something that's translated through the hull.
And one of the things we saw with the heart rate monitors on the boat race crew this year was the incredible information that the coxes have got heart rates almost as high as the rowers, like up at 160, 170. Is that your experience?
It wasn't my experience. It was my experience on the start, for sure, that my heart rate was high, not that high. I think it's incredibly important that the cox can be the cool head and be the one translating a sense and a tone of calm through the boat. Hard to do that, I imagine, if your heart rate's 160, 170.
So we're looking at this semi-final of the Thames Challenge Cup for Club 8s, and Okeanos at the top of your picture in the white vests with the slash across them, and the blue blades of Bonner Ruder-Gesellschaft, the crew that row on the Rhine in Germany. They have got contact, but they're just, well, you can see it, can't you, just a length down, and this will be for the honour of getting into tomorrow's final, where they will race either Thames A or Commercial from Ireland. And that move was made by the Okeanos crew. They row on the Bosbaan, that course made in the Great Depression back in the 1930s in Amsterdam, where they had the World Championships last in 2014, and that's where Okeanos are based. Ruder-Gesellschaft, Bonner, their boathouse is right next to the busy Rhine River, so they're used to these swells, I would suggest, and they won't be fazed by the conditions, which we see the swelling water as they come through to the finish. Ruben Hoeks, the cox there, Dries Beer behind him in the 7th seat. Neil, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I think at this time of day on the Saturday, I think one of the key challenges is dealing with the poppy water, because it's very popular out there on the water. A lot of pleasure craft that you can see in the background churning up the wash, so good watermanship is absolutely key to executing a good race at Henley towards the end of the Saturday, given how popular it is out on the water.
So listen, in terms of 8s, you know, they're quite hard to get the 8s moving quickly. Would you say that's still possible for Bonner Ruder-Gesellschaft to overturn that lead at this stage of the race? What, 500 metres to go?
I think technically it's possible. I think we saw from the times yesterday that Okeanos actually posted the quickest time of the day, 6:15 for a full course, and so I think coming into this race they definitely seem to have the form from a speed perspective. So although technically it's possible for Bonner to come back from there, I think this is the kind of lead that I'd expect Okeanos to really control from here to the finish.
As we look out from our commentary position, these crews have about 300, 250 metres to go. There is the bowman of the Okeanos crew, Jürgen Thunmeier, 26 years of age, last race before retiring. Raced for 7 years in the Dutch team for Okeanos, and here he is. His back is hopefully going to cross the line first as they come down towards the finish. Just another 20 strokes or so, Neil.
Yeah, and as they come up to the line, you can see that poppy water is reflected in the way that it's showing on the hull. That's one of the key challenges they're dealing with here, not just the wash, but also the following wind.
So the semi-final of the Thames Challenge Cup for Club 8. The first semi-final is about to be concluded, and Okeanos University from Amsterdam in the Netherlands take that first semi-final from their rivals from Bonner Ruder-Gesellschaft in Germany. You can hear the taps on the boats, confirmation of that result on the screen for you.